Welcome to Banana Bread Trades. Here we talk about trading futures. Shit post on Discord, post dank memes, and most importantly, eat banana bread and make money.
Welcome everyone to Banana Bread Trades. My name is Goose, and we're doing a little bit different video today where it's not so much about the charts or any sort of tutorial. It's just going to be me talking here for a little bit. And we're going to be talking a little bit about something that, I feel like I'm really passionate about. And I think, in my opinion, it's the number one thing that keeps any trader from being truly profitable in the long run. And that's getting yourself fucking liquidated. And it just makes me so mad because I'll see these people who have this really awesome ability to hit these good trades, to, really rack up a good amount of money. But none of that fucking matters if you cannot keep that account alive. And, it's something we can really see, just within our community itself is you wouldn't believe the amount of people that can't keep an account alive for 6 months. When, some people can keep it alive for 6 months and they're just treading water, and that's completely okay. But just the lack of accounts that actually last, the entire year or 6 months. And it's truly, it really bums me out because, this is something that I myself had a big problem with as well. And it was the number one thing keeping me from being profitable in the long run. And that's just not getting absolutely ruined by that one big loss or a couple big, we're going to have losses, right? We're going to have these horrible days, these lost days, and we might get a couple in a row, and that's okay. That is part of trading altogether. The main part is not letting just one big detrimental loss be absolutely so incredibly unfucking recoverable that it just blows that account, that it's over. Or, you see people trading prop firms all the time, which I think you should. If you're starting trading, you should start with a fucking prop firm. Don't use your own money because you will lose money. And, these people, including myself, I am guilty of this 100% myself. And that's just not keeping that account alive and not living to see the next day. And I know it's hard because you start losing money, you lose enough money, you go on to tilt. And you know what tilt is? You just hit that mode where you're just like, fuck it. If I just click the right button at the right time, I'm going to make it all back and all this pain is going to go away. Or the account's just going to be gone and I'm not going to have to think about it. And then as soon as that account's fucking gone, you want to jump off a cliff because you're like, what did I just do? If only I had just waited until this better setup here the next day that I see. And it's the number one plague for any day trader or any trader whatsoever is just limiting that bad day and making sure that bad day isn't the last day. And it wasn't until I found a way to force myself to not get absolutely wrecked by the bad day that I was able to, become a profitable trader, because any of us can make money, right? Any of us can hit a trade and make money. But the true success in trading comes from keeping that money and not losing that money the next day, because you'll see that so often. These people go on these big runs, they'll make 10 to 20K in just a couple weeks, life-changing amounts of money, and then turn around and just death spiral that right back down because either A, they were making the money by, putting the entire account at risk every single trade, or they just didn't know how to take a loss. And for me, the biggest one was just not knowing how to take a loss. Because for me, the one thing, I pride myself on is I put a lot of work into every single trade I take, right? So much work, effort, and planning goes into every single trade, and I, trust these setups, with my life, to where I'll take them. And then when that trade fails, it took me so long to be able to just accept that, hey, the market isn't going to do what we planned on it doing today. And that was the big thing that held me back. And, I see lots of other people, they'll make the same mistake, or like I said, maybe their strategy is just bad. And that's okay too. That's just part of learning. And also the glorious part about prop firms is allowing you to, figure those things out without blowing all of your own money. But the biggest thing is just the importance of having that, that hard stop on your account, that hard, daily loss limit that you can't touch, or, it's going to kick in no matter what. And you have to manually go through a bunch of steps to deactivate it, which preferably, hopefully you can't. I know Top Step and a few other like Trade of 8, they have features, the lockout feature, to where if you hit your daily loss limit, you're out of the account. You cannot get back into that account until the trading day is over. And I think that is a fantastic feature that everyone should use. And, the big thing for me is I found a number that made me uncomfortable. At what number of drawdown do you feel, and can you sense yourself starting to not think clearly? You're starting to lose that, clear, fresh mindset of, when you sit down for the trading day, before you trade every single day, you always have this, thought within yourself of, oh yeah, I have the discipline. I'm only going to risk this much on the day. And if I lose this much, it's totally okay. Well, what happens is you lose that much, and maybe you lose a little more, and then maybe you lose a little more, because you keep seeing these setups that you think are great, and then it just starts this absolute, death spiral. And you need to find a way to get yourself locked out of that, because if you lose X amount of money in a day, obviously you don't know what you're doing. You're not seeing it clearly because you set that stop, because on the good days, you're not hitting that stop. On the days where the setup and everything is clear, you should never be hitting that loss limit. And for me, for a long time, trading my Apex accounts and everything, that number for me was $300. It started off as $150, and then I sized up a little bit, and it's $300 per account. So however that is times 20 or whatever. But, just on, like what I would say is a $5,000 account, right? You have $5,000 of total available drawdown. $300 of that is my maximum loss limit that I am okay with losing on the day for that account, because that is the amount at which is easily recoverable. On a good, easy day, I should be making at least that, right? That is a loss limit I should be able to recover in one day on one good trade, absolutely no problem, and maybe more. Because ultimately, I want to be making $600, $900, $1,000 on a really good trade. And, I'll preface this with, I take maybe 3 to 4 trades a week. I don't take a lot of trades, and the trades I do go for, like on ES, I'm generally targeting 40 to 60 point, 100 point moves on ES. So I'm targeting these longer swings, not huge multi-week swings, but, large intraday swings. I want to catch that entire move. I don't scalp for just a little amount of points. I'm catching larger amounts of points. So, one good trade pays for that bad day. But the problem, I always faced was, accepting that the market was wrong, or that I was wrong, and see, there it is still within me there. The market's wrong, not I'm wrong, right? That's the big thing that kept me from being profitable for so long, was just being able to accept that I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not seeing it clearly, or the market's just not doing what I planned on doing. And I just need to be okay with that, accept it, and move on to the next day, and have my account in a spot to where whenever the market is doing what I feel it should be doing, I can hit those trades. And that's something that also comes with only trading, us in the futures world, we like to trade one ticker, right? A lot of people trade only ES. A lot of people trade only NQ, only RTY, only, the 30-year bond. And when you're trading just one singular ticker, you get to know the ticker intimately. You get to know it really well, and you feel like you should know what it's doing, but also you can sometimes try to force things out of it because you feel like you need to get a trade out of it every single day or, every couple days. And that's the, one kind of beneficial thing of, as you see on my screen right here, I have multiple tickers up. And, I have lots more that I like to watch. I like to watch lean hogs, corn, oil, gold. Like there's lots of other tickers you can be watching and not forcing trades out of, one or the other. But I mean, this all comes back to the not getting liquidated part, right? Like you need to be able to take a breath on, a singular stock or trade or ticker or whatever. Take a breath, analyze the market, and be like, okay, do we know what we're doing today? Is the market doing what we expected it to do? And if the answer is no, we need to back away, go look at a different ticker, or just be done for the day. If you only like that one ticker, just be done for the day. And don't dig yourself into these absolutely massive holes. Because when you dig that massive hole, then you have to dig out of it. But then also now you're digging out of it with less capital to work with, right? Like every time you take a big loss, you're losing part of your business. You're losing, a branch of your company when you take these big losses. And eventually your company can't operate when you don't have, enough branches to make it operate. So you need to prevent from taking these absolutely exponential losses so that the next day when it's clear, when things are clear, when things are good, you can just come back in, look at the market and be like, okay, this shit makes so much more sense than it did yesterday. This setup is clear. Let's hit this setup, take this trade, all works out. Or maybe it doesn't work out and we'll try again the next day. But you're not just absolutely wasting it all on one bad trade. That might not even have been a bad trade. It could be a good trade that fails. That happens all the time. That was the biggest thing, like I said, with me. I'll take good trades that I like, and sometimes they just don't fucking work. And that's okay, because in the long run, my trades, from the statistics and everything I've done, they'll work out if I just don't take that, catastrophic account wrecking loss. And that was like I said, the absolute most major thing for me in my trading is just figuring out a way to not take that absolute account wrecking loss. And that was setting that daily loss limit in my accounts where it was absolutely easily recoverable, but also, enough to let me, work my trades. And that's the great thing about running your statistics and everything too, with whatever, style of trades you do, you figure out how much drawdown you need to take your trades without, being stressed. And like I said, for me, with the leverage I was trading, $300 was plenty of room to let me make these trades and get into my trade and not have to be worried about being like too tight on drawdown or something. So that's kind of all I had to say. I just needed to get that little bit of a rant out there. Is just don't get yourself liquidated in one day, guys. Let your account live to see the next day. Live to be able to, take a deep breath, take a walk, go to sleep, wake up the next day, and come look at the account fresh, but also still have an account to look at. Like I said, that's going to be the main thing that we see all traders absolutely struggle with. Is, being able to keep that account alive till the next day. So please, for the love of God, don't liquidate yourself.
This is how I make the best banana bread so you can make money. Half cup premium butter, 3 bananas, 2 eggs, your preference of chocolate chips, 2 teaspoons vanilla extracts, 2 cups flour, 1 cup sugar. Cover it in tin foil and leave set at room temperature overnight. The tin foil locks in the moisture so that when you cut into it, the next day you have super moist and delicious bread. And that's how you make